after lunch on a hot Wednesday. All of these people will be here for 12 hours, and today they'll be filming on into the night.
Okay, stand by. And action.
Where are you going?
Well, where are you going?
Home.
Okay, well, we'll hang out there then.
If all goes well, and believe me, an awful lot can go wrong, that will make 5 minutes and 45 seconds of screen time, which we'll see on our sets at home.
Okay, take one. Stand by. And action.
Where are you going?
Well, where are you going?
Home.
Cut.
Okay, well...
Okay, still recording. Second action.
That's it. Got it.
Stand by.
Okay.
And action.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Home.
Space is just a state of mind, you know.
Cut.
But space is just a state of mind, you know.
Cut. Okay, recording.
But space is just a state of mind, you know.
Cut. Check that.
Shot 39, take 2. Show me your style. You really know your way around a boat?
Definitely, you got to have both hands firmly on the wheel, not too tight though, not too sweaty. Right. And you got to try and avoid the yachts. Like say this one. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry. Never mind. Oh well. Now,
63 feet. What are these gauges here, Lee?
That's rinse, spin, wash, dry,
Fold.
Yeah. And this is the eject button. Yeah, I'm actually not the best person to drive a boat.
Oh, really? I haven't noticed.
I've run the boat that I use on home and away ashore.
That was a nice move.
Yeah.
I like that. He's been rehearsing that.
And I ran into a yacht once as well. Look, no hands. So that was a bit of a not a good thing to do. I wouldn't advise that to people watching at home. I often kind of come down here and write poetry at night, you know, when the moon's just so. And
Shimmying on the water?
Yeah, a little bit of shimmying. Yeah, a little bit of shimmying, never goes astray. Yeah, definitely. Pick up the vibe, the atmosphere. It's so free and...
Oh, smell it.
Smell it.
Marvelous.
Was that you? No. All right. Okay, we'll just turn it a little around here and we'll head underneath the bridge. It's so easy, boat driving. It's so easy, so much fun. Oh! Go, man! Put the accelerator.
He thinks it's fun and games, I'm concerned.
Okay, you've seen my house over here.
Okay. It's not too bad, it's lovely.
Yeah, got a few renovations.
Is this
I think it's be marvellous. The new coat of paint really brings it up well.
Yeah? We spent hours wreaking havoc on the harbour, but we still had a bit of time to find out more about the man himself before he had to go and put another coat of paint on the house. You've done a lot of work before you started work on Home and Away, unlike a lot of the other actors. What sort of things did you do?
Well, when I was at school, I had no idea that I wanted to get into the entertainment business at all. I mean, it just wasn't discussed, you know, careers, lessons and stuff. We talked about being a doctor, a lawyer, nothing like getting into TV. But I had a few approaches to get into modelling while I was at school, but school's hard enough, you know,
right.
at that stage. So I went to uni for a year and a half, then I got into modelling. A neighbour took some photographs of me and I went down to an agency and they said, we'll give you a trial run. And within a month I went to Paris and from there I've just kind of kept going, you know. I got into television about 3 years after modelling.
Do you think if Travis was a real live person that you'd want to hang out with him?
Yeah, he's all right. There are elements of him that I like, and he seems fairly laid back, so I reckon I could handle that.
Yeah. Now, at the heart of every good soap is the food. And boy, do they eat a lot of it on this show. Now, I'm going to take you to meet Carol, props caterer extraordinaire. She's been with the show since it started. Carol!
Oh,
how are you?
Good, how are you?
Well, thanks.
Good to see you.
People are always asking me where the food comes from on the show, and now they know.
That's right.
Now, I want to know how much of this food is scripted and how much you create yourself.
Well, a lot of it is scripted, but some I do myself, obviously.
Yeah.
Like last week, they had some food for Alex, who was in
Nick
hospital.
Friedman.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they had scripted white meat with vegetables, and he's a vegetarian.
Nick's a vegetarian.
That's right. So what I did was I made up a whole heap of vegetable soup, and he had to eat it really fast.
Did you have a huge
I
pot
had
of
a
it?
big pot of it
Really?
and it tasted lovely.
Yeah?
And like this afternoon for Marilyn, it's scripted sardines and jam. That's what I've got to do this
Is
afternoon.
she actually going to eat that?
Yes, she is.
Really?
Well, she might take a taste of it, but Curtis walks in
Yeah.
and he takes a bite of it
Oh.
because he's hungry and he just pulls such a face and he's just can't believe what he's just tasted.
How many meals do you think you've made in the whole time that you've been working on the show?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
But overall, about 4,500 meals.
Over how long? How many years is that?
It's nearly 9 years.
Really?
At least, and about 2,500 muffins.
How many milkshakes?
Oh, milkshakes, hey. I don't think I could even hazard a guess with that.
Really?
Lots of milkshakes.
Thousands of them?
Yes.
Yeah? Now, I remember those sensational strawberry sundaes that you used to make me. You wouldn't be able to fix me one up now, would you?
Oh, certainly
Oh.
could. I'll actually make it extra special for you.
Oh. Oh, this is
There you
great.
go. Would you like to taste
Oh,
some?
would I like to taste it?
Oh, there you go.
Silly question.
Special for you.
Good stuff.
There you go.
What is that?
It's actually potato, Tristan. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself.
Did you used to always make them out of potato?
Not always.
Oh.
When Sam used to have to really dig into it, they were the real thing. I'd
Oh.
put them in the freezer and then race down to the studio with them frozen virtually because of the lights.
So I wanted to talk to you about how you actually started working on Home and Away. I read in a magazine that it might actually have something to do with me.
Thing is, okay, it's true, I'm not going to deny it. I just come off Paradise Beach and then I thought, I might get to meet Tristan Bancks and my ears pricked forward. And then when I went into the audition, and when I got it, the first thing I thought, I wonder if I get to meet him. I was so excited. And then I did, and then I thought, what was I thinking? He is the biggest loser. No, I'm only joking.
I can't believe that you can say that.
I know.
You must get a lot of attention from guys being on the show.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that?
It's good sometimes because you always, you feel like you look attractive and stuff, but it's just difficult when, when they slip up and call you Shannon after about 9 dates, and then it's like, Christ, I have a personality.
Really? Do they know that?
No.
That you have a personality?
Tristan, as if. Of course they know that. No, but it is really hard because you often think when someone likes you that you think, maybe they just like me because of the position I'm in instead of who I really am, which I guess is a problem that everyone has.
You love it though. I've seen you in action in nightclubs. You love the attention.
Okay. No, I don't love it. I don't at all.
What do you think of Australian men?
My mother says to me, my mother's English, and she says, if you marry an Australian man, you are just disowned. You can't do it. She always says that.
Why is that? Australian men are the most romantic in the world.
Yeah, I know burping's really cool, and like ordering beer and then saying, I can't hang out with you tonight because I'd rather see my mates, and the footy's on, and where's my Metallica tape? Yeah, it's great. It's really good.
That's a worldwide thing though.
No, I'm only joking. No, I think Australian men are wonderful. And I'm not going to be generalising about any nationality. But some British men scare me because we call them the KPT, killer pommy tourists, because the show's really big over there, and when they see you, they get like frenzy look in their eye and they lunge towards you.
Now, Shannon's a bit of a goody two-shoes. Do you ever get sick of her?
No, she's very feisty. I don't get sick of her, no way, but I do get sick of well, you know how you do an episode and then the next episode you spend half of it recapping from the last one and then just to recap from the next one, and sometimes I think I've done this scene, that all that's changed is a couple of adjectives. I mean, we make 2.5 hours a week and in it's, it's just there to entertain. People sit there with their dinner and they go, wow, it's sunny and it's beach and it's great fun, and that's the style. It's like you can't pretend to be something that you're not.
Did you ever want?
Although you do.
Did you ever want? I can't believe you. What do you?
You pretend to be groovy.
You had a storyline about
Shannon
schoolgirl
was
crushes
confused
on.
about her sexuality.
Yeah. Have you ever had?
An experience? No.
No.
No, honestly, I never have. And when I was researching it, I spoke to a lot of people, and a lot of them said, I used to like my gym teacher, or my best girlfriend I used to kiss when we were like 12, and maybe because I had 4 brothers, I always I've never been confused about that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, and it happens to a lot of people.
You think it was a good issue to cover?
Yeah, I think it was very good. Home and Away is very topical at the moment. They're dealing with everything from, drug abuse to sexuality, and it's good because it's, it's for teenagers.
Did you always want to be a writer?
Oh, well, I couldn't help it. I just couldn't be anything else. Same way for you too, isn't it?
It's pretty hard sometimes.
Yeah, well, we all write from our wounds.
That's it. That's exactly it. I don't think I've ever felt as close to anyone as I do with you.
I just want to say, I'm sorry to bring it up again. I know that we've covered it, but did you purchase that shirt with the intent to wear it, or did you just purchase it because you thought, I'm a bit crazy, wacky
This is
guy?
my favourite shirt. It's beautiful, don't you think? You should see the girls, they go crazy. So you're just putting on a show. A show for the cameras, deep down inside, you love it. Some of us might have time to sit around in coffee shops all day, but the rest of us have got places to go, people to see. Most of the actors you'll either find in the green room, on set, or in makeup, but there's one that you will always find in a dressing room.
Come in if you're pretty.
Judy Nunn. Because she's constantly writing her books. How are you?
Pretty. Hello, Tristan. How are you, darling?
Very well.
Good to see you.
Don't call me pretty. What's the latest novel that you're working on?
Oh, actually, funny you should say that. It's called Cal, K-A-L, which is short for, this is my studious look, as you know, which is short for Kalgoorlie, which is a mining town in Western Australia and the richest mining town ever in the whole world. Like, it'll never run out of gold.
Do you still enjoy working on the show after so many years?
Yeah, I do, Tris. It's not massively artistically challenging for me because it's now, 9 odd years down the track. But I enjoy the people that I work with, as you know. I mean, they're a great gang. Love the crew, love the actors.
Yeah. Do you cope? How do you cope working with so many young people?
It's the pressure that it does bring, carry with it, is, funnily enough, it's not the generation gap. I think that we get on pretty well. I really do. I think we're very lucky. But it does carry a pressure, as in, Ray and Norman and myself, the oldies, we all have a pretty well-defined sense of humour. Now, we would love to muck around very often, more than we can afford to, when there are scenes that are heavily involving very young teenagers, like, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and they don't have our experience to simply, okay, that was fun, we had a joke then, concentration back, get in focus, and we can't afford to. And then suddenly, when you're doing a whole lot of scenes just with the adults, you suddenly think, how come this is so easy? It's because we can muck around.
Do you ever have to pull rank?
Oh, I have. Yeah, and a couple of times when we've had the odd little one or two, which rarely happens, who really believe their own publicity, I've enjoyed pulling rank like there's no tomorrow. It's been fun.
What about your character? Do you still try and keep a hardened edge to her?
Yes, I try and keep a hard edge, but not a brutal edge. She's not a vicious woman, and she's not a bitchy woman. She's not sort of high camp theatrical Maggie Smith type or anything, which I'd love to play personally. But I have to keep her tough and nice at the same time, which is interesting because I'm basically not really nice. So that is the test in playing.
What, you as Judy are not really nice?
No, not really.
No, you're a pussycat.
I'm too tough. Yeah.
You're a pussycat.
Oh, you found me out, Tris. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you get on with your books. Thank you very much.
I have a deadline to meet.
Beautiful.
It's been good talking to you.
Enjoy. See ya.
See ya.
We'd met a couple of times in Melbourne.
Yeah, briefly, at a friend's party.
We were with other people.
He was with this gorgeous blonde 20-year-old.
Huh.
A bombshell.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that you? Did
no,
you dye your hair?
No, it wasn't there. That was before he started working on Home and Away. And I knew Dennis's work because he'd done the lead role in a film called Return Home, which was widely acclaimed here. And so I remember seeing Return Home at the the Australian Film Institute screenings and thinking, oh, he's a bit of all right, but putting it out of my mind. And then...
Because he was with his daughter.
Well, exactly right. No, and then
I'm glad you asked me this question.
I'm the talker in the family.
True.
We made our marriage vows with that. I talk, you listen.
Our daughter is a picture of me and a soundtrack of Debra.
Just before he proposed to me in England in 1991, I was doing a pantomime in Leeds, Pinocchio, and on the opening night, or the day of the opening night, one of the guys in it was in plaster because his Achilles tendon had snapped, and the producer was running with a huge fit And I just said, oh, Dennis will fill in.
I was over visiting Debra and a bit grumpy because
he wasn't in it.
Part.
And so he went on stage that night and played this amazing policeman, and I was looking from the wings thinking, yeah, I mean, I was already in love with him at that stage, but now I was really bowled over by this extraordinary talent.
Because I was hoping, you know, well, wouldn't it be nice if someone got sick or something?
And they did.
You know, I didn't push him.
No, it wasn't your fault. But yeah,
how long after that did he propose to you?
Only a couple of nights. It was a couple of nights after that, and yeah, I was ready to say
Must
yes.
have been
On stage or just before?
Oh, no,
you went
no,
on,
no.
or
I
after?
won't tell you where he proposed.
Sorry about that.
She can't remember. But no, I was sober.
I wasn't.
Weren't you?
Yes, of course.
Oh, right, good.
How do you cope, eating, living, working, and bringing up a baby together?
Oh, we fight. No, we do. Yeah, no, actually we do. But they're only little tiny minor disputes about, you know, stuff like, why didn't you put more water in the kettle before you knew I wanted to boil it for a cup of tea, dear? During the pregnancy we were fine because that was just two people getting in a car and going to work. And then Grace arrived and we had this third person living with us suddenly. I often didn't have to hear her crying before I knew that she needed a feed, because your breasts do funny things when you're breastfeeding. They leak when the baby needs a feed. It's fabulous. So I'd just say to Dave Gould, who was our first then, excuse me, Dave, and if it was the end of a scene, normally the changeovers are really quick. You'd only have like 2 minutes. And he'd actually give me 5 to 10 minutes.
Do you think you could spend a couple of hours in a lift with Pippa?
If you like meatloaf. And...
What would Pippa do for a couple of hours in the lift? Because she's
bake.
busy. Yeah,
recipe.
bake.
Yeah,
well,
work
there's
on a
nothing
recipe.
to work with. She's very busy. Pippa's an extremely busy person, and I mean, the whole routine with my playing her is just to keep busy. And occasionally we have directors who want me to stand in one spot, and I said, no, I'm sorry, Pippa doesn't stand in her house. You'll either have me walking through to the laundry or coming from the oven or coming from the pantry.
Do you think that you could be friends with Pippa?
Oh, yeah, I would be, I think, because she's, I mean, of course we're similar. I mean, of course that, you know, she reminds me of my mum. I mean, the character, because my mum had 6 kids and always did everything for us, and sacrificed enormous amounts of her time and energy and everything for us. And Pippa's the same as that, so I've sort of based her on my mum, basically. So obviously there's similarities there.
But it is unfair in a way, because kids write to us and say, oh, we wish you were our parents,
yeah.
you know, and we wish Debra was, you know, Pippa was my mum and all that thing. But it's a bit unfair, because, I mean, it's all very well to be this Mother Teresa on screen, but, you know, it's their own parents that do the hard slog of the disciplining and all that.
Because I don't have that. When I take my makeup off at the end of the day, that's it. I'm really not anything like her.
Your ending, your sort of departure from the show,
was
probably one of the most dramatic sequences ever shot.
Yeah.
They said that.
It was great. It had a lovely, you know, film vibe about it, you know. It was, they put a lot of time and effort and money into it, and it was just, the only sad part was it was my last stuff, you know. It was the exit.
But how did you feel to be written out of the show?
Oh, it's a bit of a shock at the time when you first hear, but they were very good about it. They gave me 6 months' notice, which is, you know, a bit unheard of, and a bit of a shock. But once that settles in, you realise it's the best thing for you, because you have to move on sometime, or otherwise you're Michael on Home and Away, or you're a freelance actor. Now, which do you want to be for your life? So you got to kick on sometime.
Are you glad you left?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really glad. I've just been having an awesome time. 96 has brought heaps of new work for me. Just changed my life. My life's just...
What about the way you left? Are you glad that you left with a bang?
Yeah, well, it was in the end it was a bit of a sorry death. You know, I thought it could be a little more exciting. Maybe with the bike, you know, I could have gone after the bike accident. or lost out at sea when I was working with Nic Testoni.
There were a few. So there were a few opportunities, and they decided to save you.
Yeah, they decided to go with a cut finger and blood infection. Pretty dramatic.
At least it's original though. Plenty of people have died at sea, but no one's died of a cut finger. Did you like your character at the start, or did you enjoy it more at the end?
Yeah, well, I mean, I had a great time with all the, sort of aggro, young guy with a chip on his shoulder, sort of, a bit of a rascal and all the rest of it, and playing off you, and and we were arch enemies and all the rest of it. And then, hooked up with Angel and sort of got a bit soft and, and started, doing anything for Angel. I'd do anything for you. I love you so much. And it sort of just changed from then. I had nothing more to really give. It was all just, very ho-hum, sort of, I'm a nice guy now, got the family, and, and then Dylan comes into the picture and, became a family man at 19, which I can't really picture being a family man, and, it wasn't all that exciting to come to work and try and act like I was, 10 years older than I was.
You must have been the envy of millions of guys across the globe, getting to kiss Melissa every day. What was it like kissing her?
Oh, I never had any feelings towards Melissa, so it was different. Of course, it was all just work, so to go in and, and kiss Melissa all day sometimes actually became a bit tedious when you just got to suck face with somebody all day. Yeah. But, it's just like another part of work which you have to do. You don't sort of really get overexcited about it.
Is she,
Especially when she's been eating garlic. Melissa, yeah.
I've got no idea why you're so popular, but...
I know, neither do I.
Why do you think... What do you put it down to?
Who knows? Honestly, got no idea. I came straight out of school. I was in year 11, and in March of year 11, I did a couple of months of year 11, and then I started work on Home and Away. And from there, it just sort of progressed, to being known overseas and, and all the
What about at school? Did the girlies used to be keen for action at school?
No, not at all. So, it just sort of... I mean, obviously, working in the industry, you become known on television, and then people, it's not because of one particular reason or another. It's basically a lot of the time because you're on telly that they love you. You're some sort of special kind of person, which is, not true at all. We're all normal, normal people.
What's your ideal woman?
Someone with a sense of humour, athletic, and I like somebody who's sort of into fitness and health and stuff like that.
So you think you're going to settle down and have a few kids?
No, I think in maybe 10 years, sort of 30-ish, maybe so, but not in the near future at all. Yeah. I think, I feel that that's why a lot of young marriages don't work, and because being young, you have to experience life yourself. You have to experience it for yourself, rather than, trying to share it with somebody else and bring up a family.
So you're quite selfish?
Yeah, now, and I think that's the time that you have to be. You've got to get over your youth, otherwise you'll turn 30, 35, 40 or whatever, and you get to that midlife, kind of crisis period where you sort of think, oh, hang on, I want to do all these, all these things that I should have done, 10, 15 years ago.
Well, it's finally time to leave. I've enjoyed seeing my old mates again. Some have changed a little, while others haven't changed at all. But as I head off home, I feel that even I know everyone just a little bit better.